So this is part of Delaware Water Gap Kayaking Centre. And I'm staying up the town here. This is the next border crossing. It's right on a freeway bridge. Even if I could think of something funny, you wouldn't be able to hear it. So here we go into New Jersey. Woo! Goodbye Pennsylvania, goodbye rocks. So it's Friday, June 28th. This is day 97. And I'm re-entering the woods. So last night I stayed in Delaware Water Gap, which is a nice little town. Quite a mixture of town types that we actually either go through or close to. The little quaint ones are best. So the Deer Head Inn is the place I stayed in last night, and it's famous as America's oldest jazz session place. And thankfully last night I caught one of those sessions. It was kind of an open mic night, so you had there were quite a few musicians there, and they just sort of join in and step away and whatever and contribute their instrument to what's going on, and it was kind of cool. Had a great conversation with a hiker who I walked into town with, a guy by the name of Paradise. He's from what's it called? It's in Washington, big city. Oh damn, I'll get it later. Seattle, Jesus, Seattle. Very interesting guy, really intelligent guy. Yeah, has had a few tough breaks, but he's sort of packed everything in. He's 55, doesn't look it. Sort of packed everything in, sold everything except his Jeep, and gave a lot of stuff away, and he's just sort of came on the trail with an open mind, and he's just re-evaluating everything. And at this stage in the hike, he's kind of starting to piece things together again, which is great. And he's got a great view on a lot of stuff, sort of a shared view, I have to say, which was kind of refreshing. So that was great. Had a good chat with him on the way into town, and then a good chat with him at the bar last night. So we had a couple of drinks together, and up till, I don't know, 10:30 or so. And then I hit the hay. Unusually nice room for a trail town. Probably slightly more expensive than, you know, motel type options that you'd normally get. But worth it. It's nice to sort of treat yourself every now and then. It's a relative treat. If I was just on holiday and staying there, I probably wouldn't have thought. I'd be probably neutral about it, but on the trail, when you're sleeping in shelters and in your tent and in crappy motels, you know, relative to that, it's a really nice place. So there you go. I'm all resupplied again. I'm back on the trail. So today, I'm heading to a place called the Mohican Outdoor Centre. It's not that far away. It's only about an 11-mile day. I'm going to camp there, and then tomorrow I'm being joined by Ed Shug. So he's sort of a distant family member, and his daughter, and they're going to hike with me. I'm not sure how much they're going to hike, but it'll be nice to have a bit of company for tomorrow, and it'll be nice to get to know him. I've never really got to know him before, so looking forward to that. Oakley dokes, catch you all later. I love it when we come across unexpected things. Like we're up quite high, and then suddenly there's a gap in the bushes, and you've got this. How cool is that? Something moving in the water. Probably frogs. Cool. That's a big lake. So I don't know whether you can make out, right in the middle of the picture, there's, I'm going to call it a tadpole, but it's big, it's huge. It's like this, I was going to say the size of my thumb, but it's bigger than the size of my thumb. See if I can make it move. been joined by another one. What odd looking things. I mean, they're the size of small fish, but they're shaped just like tadpoles. Maybe that's a different kind of sunfish. This is Raccoon Ridge, New Jersey. I think I can see my my near future in that distant picture there. Again, my sketchy memory of important facts. I believe 5% of America's water comes through this region, the Delaware Water Gap region. And to put that into perspective, 5% is about 16.5 million people. So that's like saying that 4 Irelands worth of water, drinking water and whatever, all comes through the one area. It's kind of impressive. There's a dam right there. It drops down to this area and so on. There you go. Wild turkeys. So this is the Catfish Fire Tower. I'm going to go up there. See you up there in a minute. I think it's open. We'll find out in a second. Secretly, I hate these things. They feel so sketchy and fragile, and like a little mechano kit. So 3 points of contact coming up. 2 hands in 1 feet, or 2 feet in 1 hand. There you go, great view. Pennsylvania, back to Pennsylvania and to the Delaware Water area. It's beautiful. So this pond has a beaver dam right here. Can you see the water levels lower on the right hand side? So it's dammed by a beaver or 2 beavers. It just creates a nice deep fishing pool for them. It's kind of cool. Never seen one of these in the flesh before. Nice. Some nice properties down there on the water. Their boats moored at their back garden. Nice. Aye, aye. This, believe it or not, is the top of a mountain. Sunrise Mountain, New Jersey. Pretty cool view. It is Sunday, June 30th. So this is day 99. Hope you're all doing well. Talk to you up the trail. So I've just had some very nice unexpected trail magic. So there was a guy, a solo guy, just doing, I guess, an overnight hike. And he was at he was camping where we were last night. Very nice chap. And then he headed off quite early this morning. Didn't tell us why. So he got to just this point. I've just left a shelter there. And he had his car parked there. And in his car he had a cooler full of fresh fruit and cookies and brownies and Gatorades. So by the time we all got caught up with him, he had it all laid out on the picnic table at the next shelter, which is just fantastic. So I've just had some nice pineapple and mango and strawberries and grapes and blueberries and a big choc chip cookie and the brownie and a Gatorade. Oh, gives you such a little kick and a lift in the morning when you get something like that. So fantastic. So today I think we're doing about 18 miles. We're going to a place that's known as the Secret Shelter. It's called Secret Shelter. I'll show it to you when we get there, but it's I think it's called Secret because it's not on the official AT guides. It's not an official AT shelter. So it's on some guy's property. I believe he's an ex-Thru hiker. So he leaves the shelter intact on his property, and if you know about it, you can go stay on it. So we know about it. I'm gonna find the trail here. Yes, this is it over here. That guy must be one of these. Must be his car, I guess. So yeah, so the plan, we've got a 3 or 4 day plan. Hang on, today's the 30th of June. So a 5-day plan to get to Bear Mountain in New York State. Because Bear Mountain apparently is a great place. From the very top of it, there's a viewing area where you can see New York City. And for the 4th of July celebrations, we're going to be up there. Hopefully we'll be able to stay up there. And at nightfall we'll see all the fireworks and everything. So that's the plan. It means we've got quite a easy to reasonable 5-day stretch. For me, that'll mean 18 today, probably 18 tomorrow. The day after, there are a couple of town options where I'll resupply. And then I think there's another about 30 miles or so after that to get to Bear Mountain over the following couple of days. So not difficult. I don't know what the terrain is like, but it can't be any worse than Pennsylvania. So from a distance point of view, it's well achievable. So that is currently my plan, and we'll see how we get on. As you can see, the ground is far better than what we had in Pennsylvania. There have been a couple of little rocky sections and spiky rocky sections, but nothing like Pennsylvania, so this is a pleasure. Having said that, our feet are still damaged and swollen and bruised from, the 240 miles or so that we did in PA, so it'll probably take a little while for that to ease off. So yeah, so there you go. You're up to date. Catch you later. So this is the inside of the top of that tower. Just come up about 1 million steps to get here. Just what an AT hiker needs is additional feet to climb. Yeah. That's Marcia Lake. There's a beach down there. Okay. Cool. So happy July everybody, it's July the 1st and this is my 100th day. So this is a wee town called Unionville. We're actually skirting along the border between New Jersey and New York. We don't properly get into New York for another few miles. Another cemetery. This is like a Whitey's cemetery tour of the USA. I just seem to go by a lot of cemeteries. This is quite a nice town. I only came in because there was a breakfast sandwich place. So I had my second breakfast, a nice coffee, a few snack bars, and some vibrant conversation. So, catch you later. So yesterday, I had a pretty perfect day for a hiker. So I had stayed in quite a nice place, wild kind of place. So we got our little dose of wildness. And got a little bit of trail magic from that guy I mentioned, the solo guy. Then we went on to a kind of a historic area, which was High Point, New Jersey. Went up a big obelisk, so you saw those photos. And then hiked on to a place known as the Secret Shelter, which was a lovely piece of land. It had its own resident donkey, rabbits running around all over the place, and a really nice shelter with its own well, and still had a privy. It's actually a privately owned piece of land, and an ex-Thru hiker owns it and maintains it for hikers. But it's not an official AT shelter, so it doesn't get the crowds because it isn't in the official AT guide. It is just referred to in the app, the Gut Hook app, which is great. So doesn't get the crowds. So there were 6 of us in the shelter, which is about its capacity, and then there were probably 4 tents. But it was a really good evening, had a good laugh, good chat, met some nice people, and then we just woke in a relaxed way this morning, got our stuff together, and then headed to Unionville. It was just under a 2-mile walk to the turning for Unionville. I'm just on my way back to the trailhead now, and then I'll head left and continue towards New York State. So, talk to you soon. This is the bird sanctuary area. Nice easy walking on the grass for the next half hour or so. And I guess we're going up those hills. Good evening, Ireland. You won't believe where I'm camping tonight. Okay, so I'm in New York, you can believe that bit. But I'm actually at a drive-in theatre. So this is another little secret thing that's on the AT that you've got to accidentally learn about. So this theatre lets AT thru hikers camp up here, and then you can avail of their concessions and their water and their loos and watch the movies. He's going to come up with some radio sets for us so we can hear. So you have a choice of 2 movies, or maybe 3 movies by the looks of things. Another screen there, and then we just sit out and watch the movie. It's going to be cool. There you go. Noi Joycey. Yuck. Noi Joycey. Yuck. Good morning, Ireland. It is Tuesday, July the 2nd. That makes this day 101. My golly gosh, 101 days. So, I've just crossed the New Jersey-New York border, so I'm in state number 8. I think it's 8. Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York. There you go. So everything's going great. Had an interesting evening yesterday. So we will have seen there's a drive-in movie theater. I didn't even know they existed anymore. And AT hikers are allowed free of charge to camp in the theater, in the field, and watch the movies. And it was kind of cool. A bit noisy when the cars were all leaving, etc. The noise didn't really stop until about 1 a.m. Which is extremely late for a through hiker. So yeah, I didn't get a lot of sleep. So today we're narrowing into a town called, I think it's called Greenwood Lake. And I'm going to get an overnight there. It's time for laundry and showers and stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to have a bite to eat later with a couple of trail buddies, a married couple, Hook and Slips. Very nice couple. And go from there. So we're still on track to do the July the 4th thing. Can't remember if I've said this into a video, but 30 miles after Greenwood Lake, which we'll cover in 2 days, gets us to Bear Mountain. And from there, from the top of Bear Mountain, you've got a good view of New York City, the skyline. So we're going to watch the July the 4th fireworks, etc. From up there, which should be kind of cool. I don't know what kind of a view we get or how distant it'll be, but we're going to do it anyway. And the plan is to actually camp on top of the mountain. There are a few hikers with the same plan, so there should be a good community up there in 2 days' time. So that'll be cool. Lots of American culture going on right now. Drive-in movies and July the 4th celebrations and stuff. So, delighted to be part of it. Okay, catch you later. Good morning, Ireland. It is Wednesday, July the 3rd. New York has been a lot like this, a lot of sort of rock scrambling. It's kind of fun, and it's actually not as hard on the feet as the Pennsylvania stuff, which is just like walking over a load of stone daggers. But this stuff is good. You just got to keep picking out those white markers. You can sort of see one. Maybe if I just had one thing in my hand, it would be easier for you to see what I'm pointing at. So there's one just there. So you're picking your way along this stuff. I'm still clocking up the hours. So I've got I don't know, a couple of miles into my day, but I've basically cut today and tomorrow to get through 30 miles. Which will get me up to the top of Bear Mountain for July the 4th, which should be a lot of fun. I spent last night in a town called Greenwood Lakes, which is wasn't great from a hiker point of view. The motel was god awful, filthy kip, really not suitable for hikers. And our standards are low, let me tell you, based on shelters and campsites. But you know, it's like 2.5 times the price of a hostel and filthy, you know, and you're very much on your own there as well. But however, went out for dinner with Hook and Slips last night, a really nice couple. Went to the next town because they had a laundry. That's another problem with Greenwood Lakes, there's no laundry because it's right down at lake level, so they won't pollute the water, etc., etc., so they don't have laundries. So we got a laundry done, got some dinner, had a good chat, and I think I'll see them at a shelter later on today. They have to wait in town for a resupply box at a post office, so they'll be a couple of hours behind me. So there you go, catch you later. A lot of people have it in for this tree. More nice easy trails. Up, up, up. Does that look flat? There's a vertical tree. Horizontal. Almost vertical. Lots of fun. So we're just coming up to a place called the Lemon Squeezer. To see why it's called that. Wow, big rocks. Glad I don't have to get over them. Let's see about getting through them. Oh, okay. Well, that's not a squeeze. Maybe there's another one. Let's get. Ay, ay, ay. Ah, maybe it's this. Oh shit. Gonna have to put the camera away, get my pack off. Okay, hopefully I'll be taking a picture of it from the other side in a minute. Catch you in a minute. So that's kind of mad. Tiny little gap there. And it's at an angle, you know, it's the whole thing is sloped. So what I had to do is get about halfway with my pack, get over the edge just to over here, and then continue up and then retrieve my pack. Anyway, there you go, lemon squeezer done. Got my lemon squeezed. Where the hell's next? Tell you what, these New York trail layout people have a good sense of humour. Okay, catch you later. Actually, it is up there. See the blaze on the tree? Alright, catch you later. I don't think it's heard me. Oh, it's just chilled deer. Hey buddy. He doesn't care. He's hiker friendly. Oh well. So this is called the fingerboard shelter. And this shelter has warnings about aggressive bears. So that yellow taped area there has a bear trap in it. And I'll go show you. Oink, 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 oink. So if you read the notes, you can deduce that they've taken at least 3 bears from this area in the last while. So there's the bear trap. 1 in the last 24 hours apparently. And they'll have removed them. So Will I stay here? Will I not? And they've bare cables. Decisions. Good morning, Ireland. It is Thursday, July the 4th, and this is what happens to the outdoors on July the 4th. Becomes invaded by families and picnickers and revelers and stuff. So somewhere around here is supposed to be like vending machines. I haven't seen them. So it's Independence Day. I'm about 2 miles into my day. I was going to pop down here, get rehydrated, and then head back to the trail, which is about 0.2 of a mile away, and then complete the 12 point something mile hike up to Bear Mountain, where we're going to watch the July the 4th fireworks over New York City. So I have a horrible fear I'm about to pointlessly walk through this car park and not find vending machines. So, okay, I'll catch you later. Bye. I think I'm moving through pterodactyl land here. Jesus, what a racket. Oh, they're like rooks or ravens or something. Where are they? So we were treated last night to the dreaded whippoorwill sound. So just as we were settling down, which is sort of its thing, just as it's kind of getting dark, they start up their crazy racket, and they very much make a sound that is like a whippoorwill, whippoorwill, whippoorwill. But they are the nightjar bird. It's one of those birds that almost looks like a little chunk of bark protruding off the side of a tree trunk. It's like camouflage. But they're nightjars, and here they're known as whippoorwills, and they just drive you insane. They just keep it up for hours at nightfall. So yeah, that was a pain in the ass. I had quite a few disturbed nights with those guys. So here you go. The bears never showed up. Apparently they had done 3 captures and hard releases over the last few days. And the trap was there. So hopefully that's the end of that for the hikers. No water there though, which is a nuisance. The spring runs dry in the summer, so that was a bit of a pain. So I was a bit wrecked this morning because it was so warm last night. I just completely felt like I just totally dehydrated overnight, and then I only had about half a litre left from yesterday. So thankfully some nice trail angels left a water cache at the bottom of the hill, about a mile or so away from the shelter. So I was able to refill there and sort of drink as much as I could, and then refill my bottles there. And then I went down to the picnic area and I'm back on trail. So I think I'm about halfway through the day, trying to get to Bear Mountain. Should be a bit of fun. There's been some celebrations that we could hear already. We're very close to the first sort of point where we'll start being able to see the cities. But we could hear a lot of like cannon fire. I guess they were doing like some sort of gun salute for Independence Day. And they really go over the top with it, which is good. I'm looking forward to seeing it and enjoying it and watching them all having fun. Okay, there's a nice set of stepping stones. Better watch where I'm going. So, not drop my camera / phone. Okay, here we go. Oh, more. Right then, so catch you all later.